cold, but I am okay now. I thank God. So Willis, let's get straight to it with the first word of the evening or of the day. Let me just spell it out for you, Willis. A-M-O-N-G-S-T. Now, before we even get to the proper pronunciation of this word, which, let me guess, and you can tell me which is which. Is it amongst, amongst, or amongst? But before you tell us, Willis, people usually confuse amongst with among. I hope I've pronounced it right, Willis. First, tell us which is used how. Before the proper pronunciation.
Those are alternatives, Ashley. Those are alternatives, Ashley. And one can be used sometimes, you know, in informal language, the other one formal. Now, one thing that we have to remember is that letter O takes the mid-central sound, among, then you say st, amongst. Those who find themselves saying amongst or amongst, I think they should really avoid that, especially in careers of serious communication. But sometimes, as I say, nobody is perfect. Nobody's perfect, not even Willis. But if you can, sometimes take time, try to learn good pronunciation, good grammar, and of course the right choice of words, or if you like, when you talk about vocabulary. So the right pronunciation of that word is amongst, the way you said it, Ashley.
All right, thank you, Willis. Moving on, S-W-O-R-D-F-I-S-H. Now, this is a type of fish. Is it swordfish or swordfish?
Oh, actually, you're talking about the sea fish. Now, the problem is when you talk about that fish, the first part, S-W-O-R-D, many people find themselves saying sword. But even that weapon, you don't say sword, you say sword, because W is silent. And when you are talking about the name of that fish, you also say swordfish, not swordfish. Now, Ashley, for the sake and the benefit of our viewers whom we really love so much, we have to get something here clear. Viewers, when you talk about the word sword, when you say sword, you are referring to that word that refers to an area of grass. That is S-W-A-R-D. You say sword, an area of grass. But when you come to S-W-O-R-D, you say a sword. And this one is swordfish, Ashley.
All right, swordfish, got it, Willis. Moving on,
yes.
I-N-V-E-N-T-O-R-Y. Now, tell me, Willis, does it have the stress at the beginning or at the end?
Now, Ashley, when we talk about that is property in an office, a company, or when you are taking stock of what is in a building, we talk of inventory. So the way you've just asked, that stress is used at the onset. That is the beginning of that word. You say inventory. Many people sometimes say inventory. Inventory, no. You say inventory. Inventory with a stress on the first syllable, or if you like, the beginning of that word.
Okay, inventory. I hope I got it right, Willis.
Yes, that is it, inventory.
Okay, allow me to hand it over to you, Willis. I trust you have more words for us.
Oh, I'll give 4 before I go to the other words from our dear viewers. And let me begin with this word that normally refers to a group of 4 musicians or 4 things. Many people say quartet, but that is wrong. I always say some people use such mispronunciations innocently, because if we had a system in the world, or education systems in the world, that lay more emphasis or enough emphasis on pronunciation, just like grammar and vocabulary, then many people would do it very well, because we are all human beings and we learn, and sounds are nothing but human. Now, when we come to such kind of pronunciations, we have to avoid them. Now, when you want to get it right, you say quartet. Don't say quartet. No. You say quartet. Then we have the verb to resign. You say resign. But the moment you have the noun form, dear viewers, don't say resignation, don't say resignation, don't even say resignation. You say resignation, resignation. Now he tendered his resignation, not resignation. That is inaccurate. So you realize we have resign as a verb, but the noun is resignation. Just like I talked about the verb recite in one of the editions of this program or this segment. You say recite, to recite a poem, but we have recitation. Compile, compilation. Invite, invitation. Combine, combination. Anyway, those are examples that I can give you, in fact, for the whole day. Now we have that tree that many people call acacia or acacia. Avoid that. This A takes what we call the diphthong A. Acacia, acacia tree. Don't say acacia tree, acacia tree. So dear viewers, just avoid that, especially if you are in any career of serious communication like broadcasters. That is why you see we always celebrate Ashley Mazuri and Jesse Rogers and all the other tough, presenters at KTN, because when it comes to language, the way they speak, when they pronounce words, you get the message that is intended. That is now the goodness of having good English and good pronunciations in any communication, especially in verbal communication. Now, we come to the next word. It's a disease that normally affects the brain and the spinal cord, and many people misspell it and then mispronounce it. Dear viewers, we don't have meningitis. Meningitis, just avoid that from tonight. Meningitis, no. The right spelling of that disease is right here. meningitis. And you say meningitis, meningitis. So we have that stress on gitis. And the first sounding you say meningitis. I hope you can see the word again so that you don't write mene. There is nothing like mene in this word, meningitis. After that, we have also to handle what has come from our viewers and especially fans of good English pronunciations. We have the first person tonight is Harrison Kioko of Kadhiani. You say warfare, don't say warfare, and you have worship. That is W-A-R-S-H-I-P, worship, warfare. Then vagabond, don't say vagabond. It's vague, but here you're talking about a vagabond. And then lastly, you say oven or oven. Don't say oven. Oven is the spelling, is what you see, the letter sequence, O-V-E-N, but that O takes the sound You say oven or oven, just like onion, onion, not onion. Ongacho Edwin Balovera of Western, thank you so much for loving KTN that much and good English. Then we have Edna David and Enna Hashley. Enna Hashley, or if you like, you can say Ina Hashley. Masese, you say Pete for P-I-T. But P-E-A-T, you say Pete. Pete has the short sound E. But Pete has the long vowel sound E. P-E-A-T. Pete. So Edna and Masese, the wonderful Masese, that is, I hope, keep it up. Keep it up. And this is KTN. The moment you keep it up like that, things will be very good. Then Professor and Dash, as well as DD, you say greatness. Greatness. G-R-E-A-T-N-E-S-S. Greatness. And then you say grateful. That is G-R-A-T-E-F-U-L. Grateful. Professor, Dash, and DD. There you are. Paul R.O. Sewe of Kasarani, Nairobi. You say surreptitious. Surreptitious. Don't say surreptitious. Surreptitious. And thank you also for loving KTN that much. And that is mind your language. Now, Vidija Dalizu Mwalimu of Eldoret, you say mausoleum. Mausoleum. Don't say mausoleum. Mausoleum, it's very common locally, but avoid it. Say mausoleum. Just like you also say onomatopoeia. Don't say onomatopoeia or onomatope. It is onomatopoeia. Danford Nyareru of Keroka Kisi, you say guru. G-U-R-U, guru. Mary Mwangi of Nyeri, couple. Don't say couple. The couple. Then you have spouse or spouse. couple, not couple. Then we have Zakina Ahmed of Mandera. You say participate and participant. And then your second word or your third word, that is, you say severe. Severe malaria, and then you have brute. Don't say brute. B-R-U-T-E is brute. Now, we go straight to our surprise word for tonight. Wherever you are, try to say this word. Just wherever you are. I know most of our wonderful university students are really trying it right now because sometimes they meet this word, especially in the courses that they take. Now, this word, many people find themselves saying spatial. Spatial planning, no. Don't say spatial. This letter A takes that glide. Its name, A. Spatial. Spatial. Just like S-P-A-C-I-A-L. Spatial. We also have spacious. So don't say spatial. Say spatial training or spatial planning. I want to share something with you, dear viewers. When you have the word special, it has the pure or that short sound eh. Special, but this one spatial, and the other one also spatial. So don't say spatial planning. That course, don't call it spatial. And with that, remember when we talk about spatial, it refers to, or it, in reference to space and the position, size or shape of things in it. So that way you should understand it. So that's why I said you have to remember always to say spatial planning, not spatial. And that takes us to 6 other words that are commonly mispronounced locally. And this time, one young man called Jerry, in fact from University of Nairobi, I have also to salute you because he collected words, one of which has given people a problem this week, especially on the internet. The first one. Many people find themselves talking about actuarial science. Actuarial, no. Don't say actuarial science. It's actuarial science. Then we have the second word. Many people may say bachelor's. Bachelor's. The ending has what we call the voiced sound z. Bachelor's. A bachelor's degree, not a bachelor's. S, no. Z, yes. Similarly, you say master's, a master's degree. Don't say a master's degree. Master's, no. Master's with that sound, z. Then a tricky one, honors, honors. Don't say honors. You talk of first class honors degree, honors. A first class honors degree. Don't say first class honors degree. And also when you come to this word or the abbreviation here, please don't say PhD. That don't use that puff. That breath puff, avoid it. You say PhD. PhD. That is to do or to have a PhD. Many people find themselves saying PhD. Then finally, you have thesis. A thesis. To submit or to present a thesis. Don't say to present or to submit a thesis. Thesis, no. That is what you see, but you pronounce this word as thesis. Then straight away to our confusing words. Now, we have T-O-N-E. You say tone. His tone. The tone. But when you come to T-O-N-N-E, when we talk about measurement, you say ton, tone. So get such kind of pronunciations well. You distinguish words so that you don't make mistakes. And remember, just like when we have the word desert, an area with very little water and very few plants, that is desert. Sahara, desert. But the verb, you say to desert. To desert a place, that is to abandon or leave a place. When it is a verb, you say desert. And then D-E-S-S-E-R-T, you now say dessert, just like the verb. You say dessert. That is for pudding. Don't say dessert or desert. For pudding, you say dessert. The verb also to desert a place, but the area with little water or few plants, you say desert. Sahara desert. And now, it's only available on KTN every Friday during Mind Your Language. Phonetic symbols. That is sound symbols which if you check a good dictionary, you'll find that they are used to help you to know how to pronounce a word. This one is sound eh. The sound E. That is, if you like, we call it the short or pure mid-front sound E. Like in the word debt. You can see the transcription route right here, debt. But this one, we have the symbol A. That is the diphthong, or if you like, the dual vowel glide. A. A. Debt, date. Just like you can also talk about these words when you are pronouncing them. We have lead with the sound E, lead. Then you have A, laid, red, raid, fed, fade, shed, shade. So such kind of differences, and that is why I always wish we could take our time, one thing at a time, step by step. When it comes to sounds of English, you would love them. Otherwise, if you have time, every Friday night, time like this, it's always about Mind Your Language. And I'm Willis Ocheng. I'm taking you back to Nairobi, but before that, remember you can also interact with me on Twitter. The handle is at Willis Ocheng1. The tough and hot duo of Friday briefing in Nairobi. That is Ashley Mazuri and Jesse Rogers. Back to you in Nairobi.
Thank you, Willis. You're also tough, really tough.
You're welcome.
We'll see you next week, Willis. Stay safe and have a good night.
Always.
Okay.
My.
So, Jesse.
Yeah.
How was your experience?
It was tough and hot.